Hey, it's Elise with Living in Katy, Texas, and what I wanted to talk about today is FHA loans. They're such an important and hot topic, especially with those interest rates dropping. What is an FHA loan? Do I qualify? How do I learn more about it? So I brought to you Anna Mae, who is part of Martin Mortgage, and she is going to talk about what an FHA loan is. So Anna, what do you think about those interest rates dropping?
It is amazing and such good news for everybody because the payments have gotten really high. So I'm just excited people can buy more now. They will have a lower payment. So I don't know if you guys saw in the news this last week, but rates did drop a huge amount. In 48 hours, they dropped, I don't know if this is a record or definitely tied, but it dropped 0.3 points in one day, and then the second day it dropped another 0.2. For FHA, it's 7.44 back in October, and now they're at 6.14. So that is awesome. That is good news. That I calculated just a short bit ago. Your payment is about $300 less per month by buying right now instead of back in October. So in the last 8 months, this is the lowest that rates have been. So it's a great time to buy. Payments are definitely lower, and you definitely have more buying power. If you have a lower payment, that affects your debt to income. That means you can afford a more expensive house also right now. So you might want to reach out to your loan officer if you haven't, and if you haven't already, and see how that affects. Maybe you can buy a $50,000 more house now compared to a few months ago. So the feds announced last week also that they're planning to do 3 rate cuts this next year, which is great news. That means that rates should continue to go downward. But here's my question for you, Elise. Do you think buyers should wait?
So I never think that buying a house is a bad purchase if you are qualified and ready to go buy the house. With rates lowering, that means that more buyers are going to be on the market. I think I read that with just like a point going down, 5 million more buyers are actually on the market now. So with that being said, that means, are we going to go back to where we're in the competitive market again, where we have multiple offers, where we're waiving inspection fees? Did you even talk about non-inspection and appraisal waivers?
Yep.
Did you remember that?
Yep. So that was an issue. So if you're a first-time home buyer and homes are going way above the list price, most people are going to have to do an appraisal waiver. And loan types like FHA or any other government loans, you can't do appraisal waivers. So you're knocked out. You're just knocked out. You can't get the house.
That's right. With FHA loans, you cannot waive the appraisal waiver. And I think that's actually going to come back into effect with this rate drop. Because you guys, if you're talking about going from, what was it,
7.44
to 6.14.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And I think people don't understand that there's still buyers waiting to get back into this game.
Waiting still.
And I really do think that we're going to be now back into that craziness that it was. So I think if you're a buyer and you're looking, get on the horse and start looking at homes and start seeing what you can afford now at that lower rate. Get with a loan officer and talk about these questions. Get with your agent. Your agent should be able to tell you all this information and should be able to be, you want to know as much as information as you can in this type of crazy market I think we're about to explore.
And I want to throw in one more thing. You can always refinance. So get the 6.14.
Okay, pause. How much is it to really refinance?
It depends on your scenario. If you have
I've heard people tell me that but it costs money to refinance.
So what I've done with other clients is I go through the fees worksheet with them and I say this would be a fee if you refinance. So if you're not putting a big chunk down, I would maybe say $3,000 or $4,000 to refinance. It might be less than that if you don't have to do an appraisal. Some people that put a big chunk down don't have to do an appraisal. We get into the point where appraisal waivers come back, that's going to be an issue for first-time home buyers, and that's why I also agree with don't wait. You can refinance. If the home values go up $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, isn't $3,000 or $4,000 of refinancing worth it? You actually end up with a lower payment in the long run if you do that because you have a lower loan amount by buying low.
Yeah.
And you still get the better interest rate later when you refinance.
Yes.
You end up with the lower payment by buying now when the prices are lower and refinancing later.
Yeah, and I know with FHA, they also are very, I believe that you can have a lower credit score, and they have a lot more imperfections if your credit isn't perfect.
Exactly.
They are, I don't know much about that, since I believe that when you work with me, I am I search for house. Yes, I'm the home expert, right? And I give a lot of that to my loan officer, because I believe that everybody has their job and their duty, and it is her duty to get you informed with all of the loan ins and outs. And that's why you gotta have a great relationship when you're working with a loan officer. So back to
I agree.
Back to the FHA and imperfections. So give me an example of, say, somebody who maybe were late on payments on a couple of items, and maybe their credit score is around like a 600, I would say.
Yeah, so I am a mortgage, my mortgage company is a brokerage. What that means is we can shop 40 different lenders. So every lender is different. It might be that one lender will take only a 620 and up, but I might have another lender that takes a 580 and up. So
because I don't think people realize that there's so many loan companies out there. Like, let's use example, Chase.
Yep.
Now, Chase is only gonna offer what? Chase products.
Exactly.
So you're only gonna get whatever Chase is offering. Whatever they offer, that's all you're gonna get. Now, so Anna does, what'd you say, 40
different lenders.
So you have like an opportunity to look at different things.
And what's nice about that is, let's say you do want to shop rates. I understand that's smart to do. So you go to Chase Bank, you go to Wells Fargo, you go to somewhere else, a local lender. I actually met someone at open house and they said, I've already been pre-approved. I'm, what do you call it with Chase Bank? You're like,
it's called something.
They have a level or something.
They do.
They're like, I've already been approved with them, and
I'm that level.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like preferred or something.
Maybe it's preferred client.
But I could match their interest rate and not charge $4,000 in loan origination. So they save $4,000. Why would you not want to save $4,000? And then Chase Bank had already beat another local lender who they started with. So they were just getting better and better and better. But what's nice about working with someone that is a broker, like Martin Mortgage, is you fill out one application with me, and then I can place it with any of the lenders. You don't have to keep filling out applications and getting your credit pulled multiple times.
How does that affect your credit? Does it really affect it by a lot of points?
If you do a hard pull, I would say like maybe like 30 points. Ooh. But if you're somebody that has a 600, 620, that's a problem. You know, you don't want that. So it's better if you can have a broker pull your credit score. I have your credit score. It's good for 4 months. I don't need to pull it again.
Yeah.
Versus shopping yourself, you really might be harming yourself and giving yourself a lower interest rate or limiting what products you can do. So it is better to go with a broker, hands down.
And with the FHA loan, I do know that some people ask there's like a fee that you have to pay with the FHA loan.
So that is standard. That is through that's through the loan product. It's not through my mortgage company. There is upfront mortgage insurance. Some lenders will charge loan origination in addition to that. We do not. My company does not. You pay no loan origination. So you just have the upfront mortgage insurance, which is a set percent no matter who you use. It's 1.75% of the loan amount. So, and then you do have with FHA. So it is a more forgiving product if you have imperfect credit. It's a good product for you. It does have a lower interest rate than conventional. The other thing I want to say about FHA, which is a big deal, and why some people use FHA, I've had people all the time, maybe they have a 750 credit score, but their debt to income's a little bit tight. Okay. FHA allows them to have a higher debt to income ratio. So if you have a good score, like 660 and higher, you can go up to like 55% debt to income ratio. If you go conventional, you can only go 45%. So some people go FHA just to build a buy a more expensive house.
And I mean, with the car prices and everything that we've experienced, I mean, probably people have 2 car notes. And they have 4 kids, and add that in there. So
for sure.
I can understand that.
And FHA does have a lower interest rate. So that's what I was checking on earlier. Right now, they're about 0.5 lower. FHA is half a point lower.
But they're paying that extra little monthly fee every month. So I don't know if it actually makes sense to be conventional or not.
Right. So I talk about this with all my clients about the pros and cons about both. And then, because it's kind of complicated, you know, which is better for you. It depends on your scenario. So It depends. Is the lower interest rate better? Are you trying to buy a more expensive house where you definitely need that? Is the mortgage insurance, do you not like having that?
Yeah.
So.
And I know that with FHA, that what is the minimum down payment?
FHA is 3.5%.
3.5%. And what is the loan? I know that FHA has a loan limit. You can't go above.
Oh, it just increased, so I need to double check that because they're going up now. That
Really? Because I know it was like 470 something.
Right. So I need to double check that. We can pause
Okay.
that.
And with that loan limit doesn't mean that whatever you could put down. So they could still put, say, the house was 550. And they had, industry
Right.
credit.
Yes.
And so they could still put enough money down if they have the difference to do that, to get it down to an FHA loan.
Correct. So your loan limit, but you could buy a more expensive house than that. Just put more down for that.
Okay, perfect.
So some people are buying too expensive a house for FHA, but not always. And again, you can put more down for that. I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to say. I guess that's it. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, well, if you have any questions about the home buying process, especially with a FHA loan, please reach out and comment and let us know any questions on FHA loans, because we would be glad to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy, I guess, life? Enjoy life? I don't know.
The holidays, I don't know.
Yes, right?